Hello, everyone. And this week we are going to cover calcium and what calcium does for our plants. Now, calcium has one major role, and then it's a helpful nutrient. And first of all, what the main purpose or main function of calcium is with it plays a huge role in our plant cells, and it promotes proper cell elongation, and it strengthens the cell wall's structure. And how it does this is it creates a compound, and what this compound is called, believe it or not, is calcium pectate. And what this does is it gives stability to the cell walls, and it helps bind them together. So that is its main purpose. Its main purpose is to help with the cell walls and the structure of the cells, give it strength. And where it helps is it helps with the process of the plant's ability to produce growth hormones, and it helps protect the plant from heat stress by improving the stomata's function, which we all know what stomatas do. So it helps them operate better, and it helps protect the plant from diseases. And how it does that is helps protect it from the bad fungus and bacteria that want to attack your plants, particularly the cell walls. And how they do that is by secreting an enzyme which will penetrate the cell walls, which then allows the diseases out there to enter your plants. So, because calcium strengthens the cell walls, it helps avoid that invasion of disease. So, these are all pretty good things that calcium does and that we want in our plant. But calcium is one of those nutrients that isn't mobile in plants, and it needs assistance getting on there. Basically, it needs to bump a ride with a different nutrient. And one of the two common nutrients that we use to help calcium get into our plants is calcium nitrate and CalMag, which is calcium magnesium. And this is what we use in our regular feeding of the plants. But when it comes springtime, when we want to amend our soils, what we can use to help bump up the calcium count is add dolomite and, well, bone meal. Because what are bones made of? But calcium. So those are two great supplements that we can add to our soils to help with the plant take up calcium. But with all nutrients that we give our plants, there are deficiencies and there are toxic levels, or us adding too much. And unlike the first three nutrients that I've covered, where the deficiencies show in the older leaves, this shows up in the older leaves. And particularly, we'll see it necrosis. Wow, a little hard to get that word out. Will start setting in and around the tips and the margins of the newer leaves. And It'll also, new growth, the leaves can look a little withered or distorted. And this will also affect the root system of your plant if it's not getting enough calcium, which will result in a severe stunted growth and general chlorosis of the leaves. But weather can also play a role in a calcium deficiency, particularly on a hot summer day when it's humid out. High humidity will, I guess, the plant doesn't want to take up calcium as well if it's feeling sticky and humid. And also, if it's too cold, in cold weather, it'll have a hard time taking up the calcium, which those two factors we can't do too much, but everything else we can by proper feeding. And as far as feeding too much calcium to our plants, there really isn't too. It really doesn't affect the plant itself if we add too much calcium, but it can reduce the uptake of other nutrients, such as phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, boron, copper, iron, and zinc. So, by reducing the uptakes of those nutrients then will look like they have deficiency. And that's all because we added too much calcium. So, as far as toxic levels, that's really the major downfall of giving our plants too much calcium. Oh, I almost forgot one of the major things that affects us pumpkin growers, as well as everyone who's growing big tomatoes, is blossom end rot. That's another sign of calcium deficiency and what not having enough calcium in our plants does. So, there you have it, guys, in a nutshell, what calcium does for our plants. So, next week, we are going to cover magnesium. So, until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.